right, and welcome back to another episode of the Laces Out podcast. This is week 4. How y'all doing? We actually got the whole crew today.
Yes, sir.
Doing good. Glad to be back. Sorry about missing last week, but glad to be here again and talk some good football action.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, upsets. We had injuries. Honestly, if you were expecting just to have, a slow start into fantasy, that just kicked you in the mouth because there's so many things that's been happening, and it's only week 4. So, there's a lot of surprises going on. I mean, we just had Andy Dalton throw, I don't know how many touchdowns, 3 or 4 touchdowns for the Panthers, ended up winning a game for them. We saw the Saints game and Eagles game. That game was supposed to be the highest total game. That was the lowest scoring, I think. Just kind of a lot of question marks around the league. Does anyone want to start off on what? Does anyone have anything to start off on?
I got a question mark. Does the Panthers fans out there, do y'all miss Sam Darnold yet? I mean, look at the guy. He's leading the league touchdown passes. Everybody, hey, I picked the Texans to do good this year. Everybody expecting, big things out of them, and they just roundhouse those guys and just, back to how bad the Panthers are because I like to pick on them and look good with Andy Dalton under the flinging it around.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's a good point. I mean, Sam Darnold looked good, but also Andy Dalton looked good. I mean, I don't know. I think anybody right now besides Bryce is ideal for us. It's been rough, but yeah, at this point, don't throw Bryce Young back in that lineup until the end of his contract, because I don't want him actually at all in our lineup, period. Andy looked great though. I the one time, I'm just like all down on the Panthers. I'm just like, I'm betting against the Panthers every week and everything, and then Andy Dalton is the savior for the Panthers and just comes out firing bullets. I mean, the first drive was great. I mean, Hubbard looked good, and Andy Dalton was throwing just darts, and then I was like, okay, that first drive, how lucky is that? Okay, we'll see if that happens again. And then they do it again, and then before half, he throws a touchdown, damn near 50-yard touchdown to Thielen to end the half. I mean, man, it's a little odd smiling as a Panther fan watching the Panthers game. It feels good though. I'm glad we got a little bit of taste of victory.
I seen something. Andy Dalton is the only. Sorry. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I talked to a couple other guys that are Panther fans as well, and they're like, man, we finally have a little bit of hope, and I mean, it's pretty it's pretty sad when one good game by Andy Dalton gives you a little bit of hope, but that's how bad it's been for Panthers fans. There hasn't been anything to look forward to. So, I mean, a win is good, and maybe they can build off that. I know the skill players have to be excited. Chuba Hubbard and Deontay Johnson and those guys are happy to finally have a competent quarterback. But we'll see, man. I mean, who knows? I mean, could they compete for the division? I think that's doubtful with the way the Buccaneers and the Saints and the Falcons all look. I mean, they all look pretty good. So that's doubtful, but, I mean, at least we got maybe some decent football to look forward to at least.
Yeah, not just mediocrity at best. What was that? What was that stat you heard?
Man, I was with Nugget. Yeah, Dalton. He's the only quarterback this year to throw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in a game throughout the NFL.
I love it. I mean, it's funny because we have a chatter in the in Twitch right now, and it's our friend Menace, and he's a Washington Commanders fan, and we were watching that game together, and I was saying, what are the odds of the Panthers and the Commanders winning in the same week. And, you know, I mean, just imagine what the parlay would have looked if you threw like just a two-legger on a money line for the Panthers and Washington. And whoever did that, I think it's like over 850 or something like that. It's insane. So whoever did that, I mean, more power to you.
Yeah, don't try it this week.
No, nah. But I will say though, the Panthers going up against the 0-3 Bengals. The Bengals have not looked good. Even I thought, you know, with Higgins and Chase both in their lineup against the Commanders, just looked like crap in prime time. But also don't want to discredit the Commanders because they played well too. But yeah, man, the Bengals they really need to get a win. So I don't know if they're going to come out and just demolish us or if we're gonna try to give it a good game, but we'll see. I don't know.
Let's see. Better things ahead.
So how did y'all do in your fantasy? Because I mean, I did not do well. I had 2 games in both leagues go all the way to Monday night, and it came down to within just basically 10 points in each. I think I lost by 3 points in one league, and then 9 points or 7 points in the other. So Monday sucked for me. But other than that, I'm trying to bounce back. I'm trying to forget about it, and made a few trades in actually both of my leagues, and hopefully I can recover. Anyone else have anything going on?
No, I mean I just got real fortunate this week that the other team laid an egg playing against me. So looking forward, just keeping my fingers crossed for the next coming weeks. So hopefully I can get a few players off the IR and get a little more firepower out.
Your matchup with the Hail Marys is real similar to mine with Ron Workman, because well, yours was a little bit more was a little bit worse, but either way, you at least got the win on that. But ours was real similar, where our quarterbacks didn't do anything, but like we matched it. And then also, like, I think our defenses were both maybe not defense, it was something else that was just pitiful, and we matched that same exact energy. So it came down to the very end. But yeah, like you said, you didn't really get to check your fantasy score until Monday, and there was a big surprise waiting for you, huh, Waterboy?
A big surprise, because I looked at it, knew what I had. I checked a few, game scores, and I expected some good points out of the Saints game. And when I seen that, and I was like, man, there's no need to look. Let it go. Got up, Monday. I said, well, I got to bite the bullet. Let's take a peek. And I was like, holy smokes. I just couldn't believe it. And it come down to the defense with him having the Raiders. He chose to pick up the Raiders, spend, I think, $6 on them. Man. And didn't work out too well for him. Gave him negative points.
Yeah, gonna have to give him the womp womp on that one. That was bad. That was, and I can't say anything because I paid up, I'm pretty sure, on FanDuel and a couple of my FanDuel lineups for the Raiders, and oh man, what a mistake.
But your own team breaks your heart when they give you a kiss.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is like, I can't be too mad about it. I mean, I can't be a little mad about it because I threw a good bit of money down on them to lose. But other than that, I mean, it's so hard to judge it. But as soon as you see Andy Dalton at his age, I think he's 36, able to do what he did was just, I mean, I did not think that was going to even be close to what he, I mean, yeah, he shocked me. I think he shocked the whole Panthers organization.
I get some hometown revenge.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, going up against the Bengals this week. So, any highlights of last week you want to talk about? If not, we can move on. We can talk about waivers or even go into the next week. Bunk, do you have anything?
Man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about fantasy.
Yeah.
Both leagues I got going last 2 weeks. UCFL, I put up 149 and 147, and then my other league, I put up 151 and 157. So both teams the last 2 weeks putting up points. Obviously, that won't last. It'll regress to the mean a little bit, but yeah, I mean, riding high right now. My Malik Neighbors, I have him in both leagues, and he's been
number one receiver.
He's been a freaking stud. So hopefully that continues.
Yeah,
doing good. I mean, I'm like Dorton in one league. I lost Pacheco in that other league, so that hurt. But we're getting by. And then the UCFL had pretty good luck so far. Hopefully I avoid the injury bug. Shout out to Hex for filling out my roster for me. So we're feeling good over here.
You want to send me Henry or Cook or somebody, please? Just, give to the poor over here. I'm 1-2. These guys next to me are 2-1 in our main league, and I'm hoping to at least get my second win this week. I'm going up against undefeated Pete, so hopefully I can bring him down to earth. I mean, 3-0. He's got a decent squad, but I don't know. It's one of those things where I just made a trade, so I honestly haven't really looked too hard at my lineup. So I might be making some other trades later on before this week or not. But what about y'all? Are you thinking about trading? You holding? I know Bunk said he's happy, so I'm assuming you're not trading. But Waterboy, what about you? We made a trade in our league.
Yeah, we
nothing
did.
Crazy though. I mean, nothing crazy.
Kind of a crazy trade, I guess. I appreciate you sending it. I liked it.
I knew you were high on Tank Dell, and the reason why I did that was because I had so many receivers, and I also have Diggs, and Tank Dell on the same lineup, so I didn't want to have to pick and choose. So that was my main reason, but also at the same time, I was like, well, Waddle, I don't mind putting him just on the bench just in case a good quarterback comes along in Miami, because they have a squad. I don't know. Right now they suck. I'm not starting Waddle until they have a good quarterback. As simple as that. The only person that I would say allowed to start if you have any of the Miami Dolphins is their defense, their the running back, Achane, and Tyreek Hill. Other than that, I am not touching that team at all until they get a good QB. So the reason why I did that, though, is Waddle hopefully gets a quarterback here in the next few weeks, or whoever, who knows.
If they start that Huntley fella, I don't think way better than Skylar Thompson, but
I agree with that.
I don't think Huntley would be a bad pick, but Waddle's definitely a good player, a lot of talent. So you might look into one of those lesser quarterbacks leading Tyreek into a hospital ball, and then you maybe get
then
Waddle
wide receiver one. That's possible. It's definitely possible. Tyreek goes down, then Waddle's literally it. So,
but hell,
we'll see.
Dale, he's hurt, so I traded for a hurt player to help talk to my other hurt players to kind of we're having a little group session over here, therapy, talking about it.
Players only meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
if you ain't got an insurance card, you're not allowed in.
Now, I didn't really look too hard at his injury. He's a little banged up, right? He's nothing really.
Nothing. Just some sore ribs and twisted wrists.
Yeah.
Nothing major for running and catching.
Okay, so he's good. Other injuries. Did anyone really get any big injuries happen when it comes to position player, like running back, receivers, anything?
Yeah, you got what's the name? Devontae Smith, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He got a concussion.
Yeah. That's right.
So the Eagles are looking out with maybe no, definitely not AJ.
No.
Maybe Smith sitting out. So,
Who's their third?
you had the
Dotson, right?
Jahan
that's
Dotson.
right.
Yep, he's in there, and you had the Covey fella. He got put on IR. I mean, they're really
Goddard's kind of their guy now, right?
Yep, Goddard. He took a lot of receptions and yards last week.
Speaking of receptions and yards, there's a guy who's on waivers for probably, I would say, a decent percentage of leagues out there. Obviously, our waiver wire was this morning, so that all that stuff went through. And the guy who everyone was reaching for in all my leagues right now was Cole Kmet. This guy had, I think, 11 targets in his last appearance, and he's looking like he's going to be getting that in the future too. I don't know, maybe not that many, but eventually, I think he's still going to be getting fed the ball a little bit more often than he was in the first two games, because they looked all right. You don't like Cole Kmet?
Yeah, I just because I've had him before, and I'm not so sure about the whole offense in Chicago as a whole. I mean, yeah, Caleb Williams, he threw a bunch of yards. I mean, that was about it. I mean, there's non-existent running game. Their defense pretty solid, but the offense just isn't there, in my opinion. You're buying on the uphill swing with him getting a bunch of targets, but Keenan Allen was out, so who knows?
Well, waiver wire talk though, as in, what else is on the waiver wire for tight end?
There's not much
Ertz,
on the waiver wire, but definitely not much on the waiver wire for tight ends in our league. But overall, me and Hex were talking earlier. Nowadays, if you get 6 points out of a tight end,
yeah,
you feel like
you're happy.
You won the scratch off game.
Hey, let me play that game, because man, Pitts has been barely getting me. Each and every week he's he's slowly getting me that 6 to 7 range. Obviously, he's very I don't know. It's just I really thought Kirk Cousins was going to be hitting him more often, but it looks like Drake London. He's actually been their touchdown guy over there. But yeah, I thought Pitts was going to be a little bit better. But obviously, just another letdown season. I'm not going to get rid of him or anything, because I'm not going to, sell low. And but then I look at where he's standing, and he's still in the top 10. I'm like, damn, he hasn't done anything. But like you said, you only need to get 5 to 6 points in the tight end spot to even be worth a damn. It's unbelievable where it's at. You see what Kelsey's doing, not shit.
Yeah. Nothing. Yeah, he's 24th ranked. Hell, Mark Andrews, he's averaging, I think, just about 3 points a game. There's one guy, Goddard, averaging double figures. It's just because he had a blow up game the other day, and you can't take it away. But other than that, 6-8 points from a tight end, and man, anything, it's crazy. It's amazing how it fell off, and everybody's fell off. Bunch of injuries.
Exactly, Laporta, he's banged up. I even think, was McBride banged up as well?
Yeah, McBride. Yep. He got his brain scrambled.
So that's the thing, is you have these top tight ends that you thought if you had these guys on your team, then you have that edge up, but now that they're banged up. So that's why I feel like a lot of people were scrambling to the waiver wire to just kind of collect somebody. So Cole Kmet, in my opinion, was the top dog in what was left. Like I said, we had Ertz. I think in other leagues, not in our league, but in other leagues, Gesicki was another one that wasn't a bad pickup either. But yeah, man, it's very tough. But then you also think, I don't recommend this until I see a little bit better results. But Tommy Tremble is somebody who could be a little bit better with Andy Dalton under center. So that's just a little sleeper pick, maybe in a week or two. Let's kind of watch and see how that does. But
he's averaging just around 4 points. Hopefully you don't lay a goose egg.
Exactly. As long as you're not laying a goose egg, or you're just at least you're getting targets. That's kind of what you're just reached for on tight end. But anybody else really on the waiver wire that was kind of like, hey, I got to get this guy? I really didn't see much this week.
No,
compared
I
to
feel
last
like
week was like Steele, right?
There's
It was
been a
Carson
lot
Steele.
picked over by now. You know, we're getting in thin now.
Yeah.
It's going to really take an injury for the, you know, the second and third stringer or something like that. You feel like I mean, there's still somebody there, but it's really been picked over big time, in my opinion, overall for in our home league, that people that are picked up and being played and no chance at.
Well, what about this upcoming week, week 4? We got, you know, some games coming up. I can't even recall Thursday night right now. Who's playing? If you guys want to look that up for me, I honestly, if I switch it, it's gonna mess the screen up. So
yeah, Cowboys Giants.
So that's Thursday. Obviously, if you got some Cowboys players, then that's good. I mean, CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, their kicker. Someone posted in the chat for the UCFL talking about the kicker had more points than damn near half the best players in the league. So if you have Aubrey, hats off. You probably have a decent record, and that's just because your kicker is kicking ass. That's awesome. I mean, I wish I won the lottery and had Aubrey on my team.
Yeah, I would say that. I wouldn't mind him. I mean, yeah, it was heck, he was scoring more than 60% of the top 24 probably picks in the draft.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, that's not going to keep up, right? But, I mean...
Well, you got Dak throwing. I mean, nobody's claimed him to be the most accurate person out there.
That's true. And Dallas is such a hit or miss. We got someone in the chat saying, "Go Colts!" We're finally on the board. So, anyone want to talk about the Colts? This is Storm. We got Stormy in the chat.
Yeah, I'll talk about them. They freaking suck.
Oh no! Yeah.
I mean, I got Anthony Richardson. I mean, the only good player is Jonathan Taylor. Period. I got Anthony Richardson in my other league, and Jonathan Taylor, which I love having Jonathan Taylor, but I'm looking to trade away Anthony Richardson, man. I mean, he had one good game, but he regressed like crazy. And I think they got the Steelers this week. I'm not looking for them to do anything against the Steelers. I think their defense is going to shut them down completely. But yeah, I don't know, man. He looks so promising, but 2 games he hasn't shown me anything.
Pittman. That's what I'm saying. Is Pittman is one of those fallen off guys. It's like you drafted him, and you are very disappointed right now if you have Michael Pittman. You know, some players aren't even starting him because of how bad it's been for them. So, yeah, like you said, kind of really only Jonathan Taylor over there. Anthony Richardson, if that's kind of what, you know, the cards you've been dealt, that's who you drafted, and that's kind of who you got to stick with. But I don't know. I mean, we talked about it this past week. You know, Sam Darnold's on there, you know, on the waivers, and you got Andy Dalton now. You got a bunch of different other options that you could go, but I think if you have Anthony Richards, I mean, you kind of just got to go with him and just hope that he gets a touchdown on the ground. But yeah, going up against the Steelers is going to be tough.
Not ideal.
Not ideal. This week's going to be really tough for them. So maybe stream a QB.
This is how bad it is. Daniel Jones is available in that league, and the way Lamar looked against Dallas, I've actually considered picking up Daniel Jones and starting him this week versus Richardson.
There you have it, Stormy.
Damn. Trying time.
It's been rough out here for these Colts fans, man.
Is it that bad in Midland, my man? I'm around the corner. Let me know.
I mean, hey, trust me. I get it, Stormy. I'm a Panthers fan. I finally saw a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, but yeah, Pittman hasn't done anything. He also talked about Alec Pierce, low-key's popping on. I mean, Pierce, honestly, yeah, I'd rather have Pierce right now than Pittman. It's kind of that point right now. But yeah, I don't want anything to do with the Colts right now. I hope the best for you, Stormy. I trust me, I'm with you. I'm a Panthers fan. I am. It's rough out here, and same thing with Menace. Menace is a Commanders fan, but he also saw his team get a win. He said Jaden Daniels MVP. How do y'all feel about Jaden Daniels? Because he definitely looks a little bit better than all the other rookie QBs I've been seeing.
Oh, I would say, I mean, he looks to be the real deal. I mean, he's definitely playing good ball. I mean, but you said earlier, Bengals 0-3. You beat a 0-3 team, which is good, or 0-2 made them 0-3. But he's showing a lot of good plays about him.
Not bad for, I mean, just his third start, right? I mean, shit, how long has it took Bryce Young to do something like that? He's still trying to have that game. So hats off to Jaden Daniels. I mean, he's popping off. So yeah, shout out to Jaden Daniels. I did have him in one of my leagues and traded him. Had actually a big trade and on the receiving end got Bijan Robinson. So I was happy about that. My other QB was Josh Allen, so I was able to get rid of him. I wanted to sell high, and that's what I did. So Jaden Daniels, though, definitely a top 5 QB, I think, for rest of season. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think so.
Agree.
Yeah. I mean, would you rather have Jaden Daniels or I like this game. Would you do Jaden Daniels or Kyler Murray? Bunk, you go first.
I'll give Murray the slight edge.
Okay. What about you, Waterboy?
Oh yeah, Murray hands down.
Okay, now I'm gonna go reverse order. Waterboy, you answer first. Jaden Daniels or Patrick Mahomes?
You just wanna cut me. You just wanna cut me.
Hey man, I just want to hear your honest opinion, buddy.
I mean, if I'm playing, if we're talking about what we're talking about, yeah, I'd rather have Jaden Daniels on my QB1 fantasy roster now versus.
Hey, no, but I agree. That's what I was actually telling minutes before our podcast was saying. I was looking at like some rankings for rest of season, and they had Jaden Daniels at 6, and they had Mahomes at 4. I said I would flip that, but I would also they had Kyler Murray at 5, so I would go Kyler Murray at 4, and then go Jaden Daniels at 5, and then go Mahomes. Or someone else. I don't know. Mahomes is it's just if.
I mean, who's the top 2? Hurts, Allen. Who's number 3?
Lamar probably.
Oh, Lamar, yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the. It was those.
I think
like,
it's Allen, Lamar, Hurts, 1 through 3.
Allen, Lamar, Hurts. I like that. I got all those guys in all my leagues, man. I love it. They're work league. I got like Hurts. In my other league, I got Allen, and in this league, I got Lamar now. So hopefully, none of them get injured. Because if so, I am screwed. I don't have any good backups. So, yeah, we're praying for health. That's what we're doing.
Hey, you could be rolling with Chef Gino over here with the Seahawks. So that's what I got. So count your blessings, sir.
That's true, but I mean, I took a hit in my other positions. It comes down to just kind of having to stream my receiver options. It hasn't been looking the best for me on receivers, but but Diggs hasn't been bad. Diggs in London, it's just nothing crazy. I just feel like I had the most balanced team in the UCFL, and it's just like I don't see myself winning a championship with a balanced team this balanced, because it really is. It was damn near just like anytime you look at my lineup, I'm just like, none of these guys pop. I didn't see anybody that I would be like, damn, that's a good pick. I like that guy. No, it was just like, all right, move on. Let's see the next one. But week 4, any games that you guys are excited about?
Real life?
Yeah, real life.
Real life.
Sorry, I didn't know we were talking about fantasy or.
No, yeah, real life games.
The Ravens Bills game should be good.
That's
looking forward
true.
to that.
Who do you think is going to come out on top on that one?
I give the slight edge to Buffalo. I think they look like more of the complete team. Ravens, I mean, they look good against the Cowboys, but Cowboys' defense sucks. Buffalo's defense is pretty good.
And then they lost to the Raiders.
And they also lost to the Raiders. So
I think that's everybody's thought process. Is like, damn. Well, I mean, they lost to the Raiders.
And the Panthers beat the Raiders, so there's your
yeah,
measurement.
yeah, exactly. Hey, listen, on our pick'em, I definitely went Bills because of that. That's exactly how I thought. That's my thought process. I was like, all right, Vegas just beat the Ravens. I understand it's like, within the division and all that, but I don't like that because the Panthers just beat the Raiders bad, not just beat them. They beat them bad. So, yeah, no, I'm not. Even though I got Lamar now, and I'm hoping he pops off, I still don't know if they can just get it done. But it should be a good game. I'm definitely excited for that one. Anyone in the chat, also, feel free to talk. Let me know what games you want us to talk about. But Waterboy, what are you looking forward to week 4? Which matchup?
I'm going to hit on one. I'm on the Monday night game, the Seahawks versus the Lions. I think it should be a really good game played in Detroit, but I got a lot of skin in that game.
Oh, yeah?
But, I mean, everybody keeps talking about the Detroit offense, how good they are. The Seahawks been pretty good defense, but the Seahawks, they lead the league in passing, so shouldn't be an exciting game, but a quick sidestep. I mean, the Redskins and the Cardinals, I think that's going to be a good game. You was talking about Daniels versus Murray earlier, so you get to see it Sunday.
That's true. That's very true. And it's like I feel like the Cardinals is just such a hard team to like. Are they good? Are they? I don't know.
They're 1-2.
well, that's what I'm kind of saying. It's like they can put up points, but at the same time, it's like they're gonna give the other team, and I don't think it matters who they're playing. They're gonna give them like 30 points. I don't know, man. It's like they have to keep up on offense if they want to win. That's it. Simple as that. Because I don't think their defense is worth a cookout tray. I mean, it's not good.
No, they got lambasted by the Rams last week, and then the Lions beat them this week. And I mean, they played a tough lineup. The Bills, opening game,
Yeah,
but
tough teams.
Tough team. So we'll see. Everybody says Murray should have a monster game versus the secondary in Washington, not very hot. So we'll see if Murray can get it going and get your boy Harrison Jr. going for somebody.
All right, so we have some chatters here. We had a couple. Let's see. The refs are bailing them out every week. So let's talk about the refs.
Yeah, they're bailing the Chiefs out. I hate to say it, but they do it.
So for those who do not know, Waterboy on the call is a Chiefs fan, but I mean it's really hard to deny. But at the same time, it's like, man, it comes down to these calls, but at the same time, it shouldn't also come down to these calls, right? So I'm hand in hand on the same way. Like I'm iffy on those. Like I understand some refs can blow games and stuff, but I don't think it's like meant just because it's the Chiefs, right? A lot of people probably watching this right now saying, "Oh, Chiefs, they're paying the refs. They have the refs on the side."
Tom Brady.
Collinsworth, sucks Mahomes off anytime he's playing in a primetime game. He's like, Mahomes, oh my God, he threw a behind the back pass. I've never seen that in my whole life. It comes down to that every time. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know, man. It's hard to pick on, Mahomes too.
Nah, I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, some of the calls across the league, I mean, what do they try to tell everybody? Situational awareness. Not saying you're going to call it different, but situational is, 8 minutes to go in the second quarter versus 2 minutes to go. I mean, I think some of that needs to be in play, and I ain't saying that's going to move the needle one way or the other, but everybody preaches it in life, so Why should it not be in play at that time? But they say you got to call it even across the board. Okay, so that eliminates situational awareness in day-to-day life.
Yeah, and also we'll point out the day, I think it was Monday night, the day after, the over the shoulder or over the head pass interference call they didn't call the night before, but then on Monday night they threw the flag. So it's like it really sucked. I was telling Menace because I was watching the game with them, and I was like, "There's no way you don't throw that flag after seeing what happened though the night before." So like, does that flag get thrown if it's a different person? Like, I think it all goes down to ref personnel, all that stuff, and I think it's just real too complicated just to like say all the refs are just like sucking off the Chiefs. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it all is all about situations, but at the same time, it is very alarming. It has been the Chiefs a lot. But hey, more power to you, Water Boy. You get to see them get bailed out sometimes. So I mean,
hey man, it works in my favor, but I do get tired of seeing it just because it shouldn't.
You don't want to
shouldn't
hear it
be in that manner.
Yeah. What else do we have in the chat? Someone said, "What is everyone's thoughts on Stroud's slow start?"
Offensive line.
Do you think it goes only straight to the offensive line?
That's what I'm gonna call it. I mean, you got Mixon, a real good. Stroud had a better week 1 than he had a week 2 and 3.
For sure.
Mixon got injured, kind of faltered. So I don't know, man. I mean, I really expected good things out of the offense for them as a whole. But
it was night and day,
the line and running game.
It was definitely night and day. And definitely Mixon being out. I mean, that definitely could be a big effect. But it was night and day how they look from week 1. Week 1, we saw them. We're like, wow, Houston's gonna be a problem. And then now it's just like they're falling back. No one's really talking about them. They're drifting away, in my eyes. But I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe it just comes down to their matchup. Like you said, their offensive line needs to step it up, and Mixon needs to get back out there. Bunk, what do you think about that on Stroud?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one. I mean, Colts and Bears, not really a matchup. And they barely beat the Colts. They didn't look great against the Bears, but they won. But then the Vikings just shat on them. So I don't know, man. That's tough. I do think the offensive line has let him down. I mean, it looked like he was running for his life, getting hit. And unfortunately, if he keeps getting hit like he's been, he's going to get hurt, which nobody wants to see. But they got to figure something out, man. I mean, you see Washington doing it a lot. You see Sanford doing it a lot. Run heavy, doing the bootlegs, get him out of the pocket. They got to start doing some stuff like that to try to save him a little bit, and not be taking so many hits. But we'll see, man. I mean, they've got a freaking tough schedule. I was looking at their schedule, and it's tough, man. I mean, they got the Bills coming up, the Lions, the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Ravens. I mean, they got a tough schedule. I mean, they got some gimmies in there with the Titans and Patriots and Jaguars, but they got some tough games. So, I mean, we're going to find out if they're real or not, and if they can make adjustments to, to get him a cleaner pocket and or roll him out a little bit more so he's not getting hit. So, we'll see. But, I mean, definitely a run game will help. So,
yeah, they need
if
that
they can
back.
get Mixon back, that'd be big too.
I mean, Mixon was running angry in week 1. Seeing him do that was like, damn, like he looks like a brand new running back. I mean, obviously, the Bengals ran him right into a wall. Houston looked like they knew how to use him, so it was really cool seeing that. His ability, what full potential. But yeah, we need him back in that lineup for Houston to ball. But one more topic before we call it a show. We have one more question from Stormy. Are the Dolphins done for the season? And I'll start off on this, and I'm just gonna go back to what we said earlier, and it comes down to the quarterback. You saw what happened with Tua when Tua's there. That team looks great. When he's not there, not so good. It's kind of the opposite of Bryce Young for us as Panther fans. You know, if Bryce Young's on the field, bet against him. If Andy Dalton's on the field, hold your money. That's it. And it's opposite from Miami. If Tua's on the field, then you have a good shot at them dropping ridiculous numbers. But then if Tua's off the field, they don't have good enough backups to do anything. So I think they are stressing out and trying to figure out, scramble for a QB. Maybe they'll make a trade here soon. Maybe not. I don't know. What are y'all thoughts? Waterboy, you want to take this one?
I'm going to pass it to Bunk for a minute. I want to see what he says and then throw something at you.
Okay.
I mean, I definitely think they need a quarterback. We alluded to Huntley earlier. I mean, when he filled in for, I think it was last year he filled in some for Lamar. Either last year or the year before. I can't remember. But he looked fairly decent in the time that he filled in. So, I mean, I guess, you know, trial and error, see if that works this week. And then if it doesn't, maybe they go back to the drawing board and possibly trade for somebody, bring in a free agent. I know Tannehill's out there. There's been a lot of rumblings about that, like a veteran. But, I mean, they got to do the same thing the Texans got to do. They got to rely on the run. They got to be heavy Achane. And then, you know, hopefully that opens up a little bit of lanes for Waddle and Hill to get open. And, I mean, they got enough speed and skill where if they can just get somebody confident enough to get it to them, they can do the rest with the ball in their hands, as long as they're not getting them killed over the middle. So I don't know. I mean, I think it starts with a run, Achane, once Mostert's healthy, and then they got that Jalen Wright from Tennessee. So they got a stable of running backs. They just need to rely on them, and then play, you know, pass off of the run.
There was a good point in the chat. Someone just said, extended on this question, should Tua come back, or should they let him come back is the question. And that's a tough one, man. I have no idea. I mean, you saw what happened to Kuechly for the Panthers, where, you know, once he had a couple, you know, too many concussions, like, he was out. And that was just a business decision. As much as he was literally the best linebacker in the league,
yeah,
that was it for him. And Tua, you know,
just go through the back door. How you doing, man?
Tua being out like that, though, I don't know, man. I think it comes down, first, let's make sure he's okay. Make sure he's not literally having some, you know, whatever. But I don't know, man. I think that's such a touchy subject where it's up to him, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, think about your future. Like, I mean, don't just be thinking about, like, oh, I want to go out there and win and whatever. I understand that, but at the same time, like, dude, you this is your life as well. So, you know, that's not up to, I don't think, the NFL or anyone else. I think that's up to personal, right?
It's definitely personal, but I don't know. You know, NFL wants to keep preaching safety, and they're wanting to extend the season. I don't know. Maybe they start to implement something. You know, when you get so many concussions, you've got to do something. I mean,
yeah,
there's something. I wouldn't. By no means do I know a lot about a brain box and all that goes on with neurology, but I mean, the dude has got knocked out like severe multiple times.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, I don't know what's his age, probably 25, something like this.
He's
I mean,
young,
you got. Man. I mean, just a good guess. Hopefully, good Lord willing, you know, 40 to 50 years plus that you've got to contend with this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you saw what happened to the old school players, like who got CTE and just, those guys, they don't know what's going on half the time. So yeah, you gotta take care of that brain of yours to if you're out there listening. I know you're one of our viewers, so hey man, be smart out there.
Yeah, I think we gotta seriously consider retiring, man. I mean, like what tripped me out is the thing with his hands, like, and when he got hit
claws
by DeMar again, his hands started doing the same thing, and like, dude, that's freaking scary, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not talking about getting knocked out of a football game. You're talking about being paralyzed for the rest of your life, or
This is
like,
above the game of football for sure.
Yeah, like I think he's really got to consider it, honestly, man. I mean, I thought as bad as it was the last time that he should have considered it. Now, hats off to him. He came back and had a great season last year.
Yep.
But dude, when his hands did that thing again, I was like, he's done. Like that. I mean that's freaking scary, dude.
Yeah, like in your head, that's the same thing where I'm like, if that happened to me, it's like, even though you love the game so much, or you wanna go out there and play, and you feel like you can give more to the sport. At the same time, like, you got to think of your family as well. You got to think of yourself. You got to think of your future. Yeah, it's a little bit more than football when it comes to that. But we're already past 45 minutes, so let's go ahead and wrap up and call it a show. Unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about.
No, we covered a good bit. As always, looking forward to a good competitive week this week, and wish everybody the best of luck, except for the gentleman I'm playing.
That's right, Bunk. Any closing words for you?
Just a tough matchup this week, man. I think the surprise of the UCFL is Witt and Pete, man. And I'm facing Witt this week. He's got a squad, so that's going to be I'm not gonna say it's gonna be, but it should be a great matchup. So we'll see what happens. But he's in my division, and he's 3-0. I'm 2-1, so I'm hoping to even that record and get a big divisional win this week.
I'm going up against Pete, 3-0 undefeated. Hopefully, give him a little bit of taste of what I've been tasting the last couple weeks, and that's that big ol' L. So, Pete, go fuck yourself, and we'll see you guys later in week 5. Laces Up Podcast. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
See ya.